I have a question about how Edison is going to deal with its affordable housing obligation. I know that at the January meeting, there was a resolution on the agenda where Edison would adopt its obligation for affordable housing. That resolution never came up for a vote because the council lacked a quorum, and thus Edison missed its statutory deadline to adopt such a resolution by January 31st if it wanted to be able to afford itself immunity from builder's remedy lawsuits. The amendment to the Fair Housing Act did give a grace period if a municipality failed to meet a statutory deadline because of circumstances beyond the municipality's control. So I expected that at the last February meeting, the resolution would have been on the agenda, but it wasn't. So has the council been apprised of how Edison is going to fend off builder's remedy lawsuits since the township has not calculated its own affordable housing obligation? And other towns have adopted resolutions where they've come up with numbers that are much lower than the state's numbers. For instance, East Brunswick adopted an affordable housing resolution where they showed that they had an obligation that was a fraction of what the state had assigned to them. Why didn't Edison follow a strategy like that? And what would we say to members of the public who are thinking that by the administration's and council's inaction, we're just opening up ourselves to builder's remedy lawsuits, which means that developers will determine where affordable housing development will go rather than the residents of Edison through our elected council?
All right, thank you. Let me go to Counselor first about the affordable housing question.
Yeah, are you done? I'm not gonna have do a back and forth with you. No, I'm gonna, well, I'll wait till his time expires and then I'll answer his question, because I'm not gonna go back and forth.
Filibuster?
What? Council President, are we gonna do a back and forth, or is this gonna be an answer to his question?
No, and any questions you have afterwards can be taken offline, okay?
It's particularly comical to me that Mr. Bastoff stands up here and asks about the affordable housing situation. He had raised this question last month through the council president. I took time to meet with you and provide you an answer to this question at the mayor's State of the Township address. And I explained the strategy that was being employed, and you applauded that strategy that was being done. And you stand up here tonight as if we never had that conversation, that I did not answer your questions, and are now saying that that strategy somehow exposes the township to some additional liability. So please don't waste my time in the future. If you want answers to real questions, I'm happy to give them to you. But what I'm not going to do is to just allow you to play politics. But I'll answer the question again for the benefit of the public, okay? For the public's sake, the immunity that exists under the affordable housing law exists through June, okay? This new law provides provided numbers given by DCA. These numbers are not in Edison's interest, and you and I explained that. We talked about that. We talked about how the numbers that DCA put forward for this council to adopt are way too high, and they don't take into account real developable land in Edison. So it was this administration's position to not adopt those DCA numbers, and not only that, not even to provide a report in response to those DCA numbers and to proceed under the old law. Because under the old law, we believe we can get a number that's accurate and in the best interests of Edison. I explained that to you. I'll explain it again for the benefit of the public. This administration and this law department will not allow DCA to dictate to Edison what is an appropriate affordable housing number. It has to be a number that makes sense. And that's what we intend to do. Thank you, Council President.
We did not take kindly to the lawyer's remarks that wasting your time. You're going to be here anyways. You're supposed to be here to answer the questions. The tone that you have.
Not if you lie. If you lie and you present it as if I haven't provided you information when I have, that's particularly disturbing.
This is my time right now.
No, you're asking me a question. I'm answering.
I was making a statement, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So I was saying that you're here to go ahead and answer questions or, say whatever you have to say, but you don't have to say it in the tone that you said it. That's all I'm saying. There was no question there.
Okay.
All right? So